You already know SOS of 2020-21 of physics. So the first chapter obviously comes chapter 8, and that is your typical concepts of motion. We discussed many things in this, like 2G, 1G, 2G, 3G and 4G motions. So first we'll start with motion, distance and displacement. Then we'll go to the rate of change of distance or rate of change of displacement, that is our velocity or speed, and then we go for rate of change of velocity, that is acceleration, and the last one is rate of change of acceleration, which we knew in the class we discussed, and that is jerks. So discuss whether the walls of your classroom are at rest or in motion. We discussed this in our virtual class, and you were given a thought process. You were given a thought process to understand and analyze whether our worlds are at rest when we're sitting inside the class. Yes, it is. But if somebody observes us from outside the classroom and maybe the planet Moon, satellite Moon, then obviously they will see the world is also moving. But normally we are not moving with respect to the world. But if somebody observes us and from other planet, then obviously they will see the things are moving. For example, we can take the train. If you are sitting in a train and but the train is at rest, and you are nearby train, another train is moving nearby, and you look at that train, then you feel as if your train is moving. This is what the relative concept is. So motion itself is a concept which you take with reference. You remember in the class we discussed about some coordinate system, x, y and z, and x, y coordinates. So with that reference we can say this is changing. Now activity, we have done outdoor activity. If you remember in the school, have you ever experienced the train in which you are sitting appears to move while it is at rest? Right now I discuss this. Discuss and share experience. You can share that. Then describing motion, we already have talked about this. If you remember, we talked about this length A, B, C, and we found a distance between B and C and B and A, and I gave you some time from A to B and B to C. The time I gave same, 5 minutes. From C to B it's 5 minutes, from B to A also it is 5 minutes. But distance from B to A is much bigger. That means the body is moving faster from B to A, whereas from C to B it's moving slower. And I deducted this, if you remember, I deducted this in virtual class with taking one concept that the velocity we found out from C to B. And we also found out velocity of B to A. And I answered that in kilometers per minute. Then I converted that to per minute, per kilometer per second, and I asked you to solve it kilometer per hour. So I hope many of you have done it and you pour your answer. Now activity 8.3. Take a meter scale, which you have done actually in school. If you remember, we have done on the ground. Take a meter scale and a long rope, work from one long corner and a basketball court to its opposite corner along its sides. We have done with 4 tables, and we also considered stamp to be one of our unit, if you remember, and we calculated everything and you also calculated everybody's velocity, and I asked you to plot the graph and you plotted the graph. You remember that? So measure the distance covered by you and magnitude of the displacement. They are telling little less, you have done little ahead. What difference would you notice between two of these